what do giraffes and the Pokemon Girafarig have in common? Well, it turns out more than you might think. Welcome back to Shelby on Safari, the place where I, Shelby, a wild animal biologist and Pokemon trainer, often combine my love for both of these things into videos to see just how amazing our world really is. So today we're gonna look at giraffes and 3 adaptations that they have in common with the Pokemon Girafarig. So you ready? Join the safari and let's get started. First up, we have to talk about the giraffe's neck. And actually, well, because Girafarig is known as the long neck Pokemon. Well, it seems in the Pokemon world, Girafarig, yes indeed, has a long neck, but it's certainly not quite as big as the giraffes of our world. Believe it or not, giraffes only have 7 vertebrae in their neck. There is debate, however, that there's one little teeny 8th vertebrae, but for the sake of this video, they got 7. Which ironically is the same amount of neck vertebrae that we humans have. But as you can imagine, giraffes, well, their neck vertebrae are a whole lot bigger than ours. Now, there is some debate within the scientific community as to why and how the giraffe's neck evolved over time. But regardless, there are 3 key things that giraffes do use their necks for. Firstly, it helps them look out for predators. If you're on the savannah and you see a giraffe running and you're a bit shorter than they are, chances are if it's startling the giraffe, you should probably run too. Males also use their necks for fighting. This is called necking. And yes, in some pulp culture and on Valentine's Day cards, you may see drawings of giraffes with their necks wrapped around each other and think, oh, isn't that cute? But alas, friends, it's males fighting. So not quite that cute. But the main reason for giraffes having long necks comes in the form of, well, eliminating the competition. Having long necks allows giraffes to reach food that their competitors on the savannah might not be able to. Now, at the top of the giraffe's long neck is their adorable face. And on their adorable face/head, there is what's known as ossicones. Now, these are not horns on the giraffe's head, and they too are also seen on Girafarig. Ossicones are bony projections of the skull that happen to be covered with, well, furred skin. Both male and female giraffes and Girafarig have ossicones. The bone, the skin, and the connective tissue of ossicones are all living, growing tissues with blood vessels and nerves, setting them apart from horns. And remember that necking behavior I mentioned that male giraffes partake in? Well, if it didn't sound painful enough swinging your neck to hit a competitor's neck, when it comes time to the ossicones hitting possibly a competitor, ouch. That can leave a mark. Studies have shown that male ossicones tend to be not only heavier, but bigger as well than females. And actually, in some species of giraffe, males grow a second pair of ossicones. Take, for example, the median ossicone of both the northern and reticulated giraffes, in which they're considerably larger in adult males than those of the Maasai and southern giraffe species. But why do giraffes have ossicones? Well, it's not just giraffes, okapis as well, which is the living relative of the giraffe. They too have ossicones. But it's suggested that ossicones may help the giraffe with thermoregulation. It's been suggested that they may dissipate heat to the environment, and in return, the veins would bring cool blood to the venous sinuses, providing a cool, literally, layer between the brain and the environment. Now, the last adaptation that Girafarig, the Pokemon, and giraffes of our world seem to have in common, to some extent, is the tail. In Girafarig, the tail has a mind of its own. Well, sort of. Girafarig's tail has yellow eyes, a mouth that has some pretty sharp-looking teeth in it, and apparently a small brain, which, even though it can't think independently of the Pokemon, it does often mimic Girafarig's head. For example, if Girafarig is eating, the tail might appear to be eating as well. And many Pokedex entries state to be careful of Girafarig's tail, especially if you apparently smell, whether good or bad, who knows, but Girafarig's tail has a very keen sense of smell and will often bite. It appears to be quite reactionary to scents. But the coolest thing, in my opinion, that Girafarig's tail seems to do is to act as a warning system really for Girafarig, because it doesn't need to sleep when Girafarig itself is sleeping. Its tail will somehow stay awake and keep an eye out for predators. If it senses one, then it'll alert Girafarig. Then it will alert Girafarig. If only the giraffes of our world had tails that could alert them to danger. With 3 out of the 4 giraffe species in significant decline, giraffes certainly seem to need our help. With tails that get up to 8 feet in length, they are ever so impressive. And giraffes actually use their tails as fly swatters, really. Which then becomes rather ironic that giraffes are hunted for their tails. Yes, some of the other body parts may be used, but often than not, giraffes have been found killed with just their tails being removed. It's been noted that by some locals, giraffe tails are used as a dowry, but also the long black hairs of the giraffe's tail have been known to be used for not just for fly whisk for humans, but also for things like bracelets. A study done in 2021 highlighted the many different ways that giraffe parts and derivatives are used in trade, both within Africa and internationally. I'll pop a link to it down in the description below for you to check out. It's definitely an interesting read because while there are so many amazing animals in Africa under threat, I feel sometimes the giraffe gets left out, especially since they've undergone a significant population decline of about 30% over the past 30 years. With that in mind, I encourage you to check out the Giraffe Conservation Fund. I'll pop a link down to their website in the description below as well. Thanks so much to my friend Jody for suggesting this video on Girafarig and just how similar they are to the giraffes of our world. If you have a Pokemon you want me to explore, be sure to tell me in the comments down below. And to keep the Pokemon Animal World comparison going, be sure to check out my playlist here to keep the adventure going. Go and click it. I'll see you over there. Thanks so much for watching.